How are you, Agnes?
The same. Not good.
That happens sometimes. Every day. Same thing. The same thing. Every day.
So the root of all suffering is our desire not to suffer.
No one asked you.
Louis.
What's going on?
Mom just did a puzzle.
Only children play with puzzles, Agnes.
Remember, thou art dust, and to dust thou shalt return.
Puzzle partner. I'm here about the puzzles.
Seem to have some mark on your forehead.
It's Ash Wednesday. Is that a problem?
No, not at all. As long as we don't have to share the prize with the Pope.
A competition?
I'm doing it.
Honey.
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
You're so much more comfortable when you're focusing on the puzzles. Turns you on.
He's using you. Everybody always uses you, and you let him.
I don't know why someone like you would find me interesting.
You're modest and strange and beautiful and funny. Does that make me weird?
No, just different.
Well, thank you, Mark, for talking to us. I am curious, how was Puzzle came to life? Can you talk about the process of making this as director and one of the producers?
Well, I started with the writing. I got the screenplay. I didn't develop it. It was sent to me. I love the writing very much. I love the subject matter about a woman over the age of 40 finding her own voice, and we don't see those movies. And then I related to that central character because I was raised by a woman very much like Agnes. A woman who doted on her husband, doted on her only son. In the movie,
You're the only son?
Yeah, and in that movie, it was a woman who doted on her husband and her two boys, and then she begins to find her passion. And the fact that it's jigsaw puzzles is the thing that was furthest from my mind, but the movie's not really about that. It's about her and the relationships.
Speaking, just on a side note, so was your mom a huge jigsaw puzzle?
No, she wasn't.
Like what kind of passion did she
No,
have
I
up?
think what she would have loved to have done in her life, she didn't live the life of Agnes where she followed her passion. I think she would have loved to be a teacher, perhaps at some point. Instead, she was a housewife. And what we try to do in the film is not to diminish the role of being a mother or a wife, but to say that there's also something more. And that's what I think the film does.
And that's how she discovered her passions.
Right.
Had you worked with Kelly before? I mean, did you know that she would be so capable playing a leading role?
She deserved it. Yeah, she deserved it.
You probably watched her on Boardwalk Empire?
Yes, I saw her on Boardwalk Empire, but going back even before that, there was a movie, The Girl in the Cafe, which not a lot of people know, with Bill Nighy, and she was brilliant. And then a few years later, she was in No Country for Old Men, playing a Texas woman, and then Boardwalk Empire. And you start to connect the dots, and you realize, wow, what a versatile actress she is.
But very low-key.
Very low-key. She doesn't call attention to herself. But yet, when you start to watch her, you're drawn in. And to me, that's always the most interesting characters, where they're not pointing themselves, but they pull you in. And that's what she does. And then you can't take your eyes off her. She can play any role, and she loses herself in that role.
And Irfan, he was really fantastic. How did you find him?
Well, Irfan is one of our great actors. I'd like to say it was my first idea. It was actually my producing partner, Peter, who said, have you thought about Irfan? And of course I knew his work, but didn't immediately think of him for this role. And then I had loved him in The Lunchbox and In Treatment. These smaller, the TV show, these are smaller performances, but brilliant.
Yes.
And of course the big movies. And didn't know if he would do a small American independent movie like this. And when he read it, he had the same response that Kelly and I and David did, which is, this is wonderful. We Skyped, and he said he wanted to do it.
Life is messy. There's nothing we can do to control anything.
Where's dinner? I slave all day for this family. What's wrong with you?
When you complete a puzzle, you know that you have made all the right choices.
All right, puzzlers, on my count. 3, 2, 1.
You gotta tell me everything.
I don't have to tell you anything.
So are you a pretty good puzzle player?
No,
Do you?
I'm not.
Do you pick up the New York Times every Sunday and try
No.
to? No, come
No,
on.
no, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. But fortunately, Kelly's good at it, and Irfan's okay at it, and they were able to do it. I didn't need to be good at it.
So you're one of the producers for Little Miss Sunshine, which I love that film back in 2005, and I predicted back in June 2005 that that film will go far.
Yeah.
Did you take away from producing that film and apply into your film as director of Puzzle?
Did I take away anything special from that?
Right, yes.
I think what I took away was the family dynamic I really liked. And part of the reason that that movie, Little Miss Sunshine, worked so well is because there was something in it for everyone.
Yeah.
You could be a teenage boy or a young girl and relate to those characters, and you could be a grandfather and relate to, you know, the older characters. And in this story, hopefully we've done the same thing. You've got a family where you could go, that's the bratty son, and that's the sensitive son, and that's the, you know, the father who's just stuck in his little world. And yet,
Good man.
and yet a good man. I
Yes.
think that's really important,
Yeah.
and that is that I wanted the characters to be nuanced.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to be what I call stick figures, and the writing is just brought that to life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your kind words.
Thank you.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Faith, ambition, love. What other pursuits can give you that kind of perfection?
To getting all the wrong pieces right.